for a good 10 years in code enforcement, so I know where this goes. The state probably will not allow them an entrance on 189. Their entrance will be on that side street. Now what happens when people are going in and out of there, you've got school buses going in and out? There should be some regulation over that. And if that road, if that traffic pattern has to be changed, in other words, a center lane put in to accommodate it and some sort of a warning light, then the dollar store should be paying for it like any other developer. And, you know, we don't have anything to say about it. And the employment, it might employ 3 people in this town, maybe. And most of the money won't stay in this town. And they, if it's like some stores like that, they don't even pay, most of the taxes go to another state, their employment taxes and everything else.
Thank you. Jim?
The congested area, when they're talking about a cost from where the land to be sold, those people probably won't bother anybody, because they're all dead still. And as far as jobs, any of these stores that I've been around have a lot more than 3 people in them and working. And the money, as far as being in the town of Lubec, I believe the tax revenue would be given to the town of Lubec. And I'm pretty sure that the people working there would have their paycheck given to them right here in this town. So I think on that side of things, as far as what the corporation does from wherever they're from, that's the whole US of A as far as corporations go. They're everywhere. And we probably wouldn't exist very well without them. But I think that still it would be more of a positive thing than, and as far as an entrance in and off the road for the population that is here and all the other businesses that we have, I don't think will be too much of a congestion for that. But we've got to start somewhere, so if the dollar store would be something new in town, that would be one more that we could count.
Thank you. Any more comments?
Yeah, I would have given it comments before. I
Your name,
didn't realize we had this opportunity.
Name,
Your
please.
name?
My name is George Albany, and I know all of you people. And I have to say, I'm afraid right now. I don't have a nice feeling here. This thing, first of all, you should have passed this out before you started reading it, John, so we all could have read along with you. The object of this policy is to provide guidance for an orderly procedure for public comment portion. It sounds to me like you want to shut the town up. Did we not have a comment policy in place before this tonight?
No.
No.
We never did. And all of a sudden now we do because the dollar store had a little heated excitement. Is this not about the dollar store coming to town?
No.
Oh, this is just a coincidence that this happened after this heated
This is a
meeting.
result of bad behavior.
That's right. So that's
Bad behavior from the last meeting
Yeah.
about the dollar store. So this is about that.
No, just about bad behavior during a meeting.
Okay, so now we change all policy for the rest of all
Didn't change
meetings.
your policy.
Okay,
Huh?
hang on.
Wait a minute.
Wait, one
I
at a
just asked a
time.
question.
One at a time. Mr. Albany, go ahead.
I just wanted to know if this is not a new policy here that I saw you guys vote on. And then if it is, was this a result of the heated discussion of the dollar store? And if this is the case, my feeling is that you're trying to stifle public discussion, and I'm afraid of that. I don't want it. 2 minutes. I've already talked for 2 minutes, and now I know you can shut me off. This is scary. I could talk for 20 minutes and tell you all the things I find wrong.
Okay, Mr. Albany, this discussion is about this particular item, not everything that
Then
you
the
find
dollar
wrong.
store, I would like to know how many jobs will the dollar store create?
I
And
have no
if
idea.
the dollar store is in the right direction, I pay a lot of taxes here. I struggle hard like everybody that I know around me, practically starving here. And yet, we might have a chance because we might have a beautiful town with tourism as a potential. You have Roosevelt Park across the island, you have all this, and now you want to take that and build dollar stores and maybe McDonald's and create a town like Machias or Eastport or Calais. I mean, is that what we want here? Or don't we want to stand on our own beauty, our own, the reason we all came here in the first place, because the place was beautiful.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Chair, I'd like to point out to Mr. Albany that this is not a public comment right now. This is a discussion about that. And the policy that was accepted was so that everyone gets to be heard uninterrupted. I realize that you're kind of getting this dropped on your lap and you're trying to come up to speed running while you got it here. And this is the way we felt at the previous meeting with the petition. But fortunately, we had the presence of mind to realize we probably couldn't make a decision that night. And as it turns out, we would have looked like dopes if we had, quite simply. So, no one is hindering your ability to speak. We're just asking you if you can participate within a set parameter so we all can be heard and not interrupted.
I'd like to recognize John, he had a
I'm
hand
sorry.
up.
One of the issues, this is in response to the behavior at the meeting on October 10th. In that meeting, there was multiple conversations going on at once. This was put forth to try to eliminate that. One question, one answer. That's it. If you got 3 or 4 people talking, then it would be hard to have an intelligent conversation. The other thing is there was some cursing and there was some language. These selectmen's meetings are televised over Time Warner Cable. And if we use language on the air that's not appropriate, we could lose Channel 7. So the question becomes, do you risk losing Channel 7? Or do you try to put forward a standard so we can continue to have public comment, but then have it in such a manner that, you know, we're not going to risk losing quality TV. And to make sure that the meetings are courteous, to make sure that everybody gets heard. I mean, this was the goal of putting together this policy, and we couldn't pass it out tonight because it wasn't adopted.
Several comments in the back.
Hi, Darcy. I'm just wondering, so are we going to have an information meeting that will tell us what this corporation's gonna bring to the town and how the town's gonna benefit? Is that gonna, are we gonna be able to know what's gonna happen before it does?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Why not?
I don't think it's our responsibility, is it? It's a
Yes,
private piece
yes.
of land for sale by a private corporation.
But it's our town.
We have another comment.
Jim?
Okay, I'll speak as the assessor for the town. I have an idea of their plans for the building. Anyone wants to know about what they're gonna build, where they're gonna build it, what size it's gonna be, come see me. Because I have to assess it. Okay.
Danny?
Yeah. I kind of wish we was more like Machias and Eastwood as far as most of the people here go to Machias to go to work. Why not have people come here? Why not have a McDonald's and whatever? Chances are we're not going to get it, but I don't know why we have to be different than anywhere else.
Thank you, Danny. Jim?
Yeah, it's really not that big a store. It's not a big box store. No. Plus, it's a legal corporation. It's not a criminal enterprise.
And it's not against any ordinances for our town. Is there, I see a hand, but I can't, go ahead, Heather. Can you identify yourself?
Heather Lee, I
Thank
wasn't
you.
at that last meeting, but, and I understand you, the board cannot make a moratorium. That being said, townspeople have showed up, asked for your help as their representatives to do something and to have a say in their town. And you're gonna sit there and say, sorry, nothing we can do? Is that it?
I would say,
Yeah.
I'm gonna recognize myself.
But why?
The time to have done that would have been when the comprehensive, was it comprehensive plan was being put together. That was a 3-year process. And there was lots of time for people to come in and say, we want ordinances, we want to be able to have a say, and no one did.
And now they're saying it, and that's it?
Then we
Right.
go to
You
town
should've done it 3
meeting
years ago.
again in August, and we do something about it. But we can't do it tonight. This is not a public hearing.
I understand that.
Peter Boyce.
Peter Boyce, I don't understand why a private person can't sell a private piece of land to anybody he wants to, as long as it's not a criminal enterprise.
That's right.
That's the way it should be. And as long as that person is not hurting anybody else. And this dollar store is not, as Jim said, a big box store. It's quite small, actually. Go look at the one in Eastport or the one in Mildred. They're not great big places. I mean, they're fitting on a piece of land that's slightly over an acre. And that includes parking lot, the whole 9 yards.
Right.
And I just don't see where the townspeople have the right to say what somebody wants to put on their land.
I agree.
It doesn't make any sense to me at all. And that means every time, there's one lady here that I saw here that has got a piece of commercial property for sale. Does this mean we should have a town meeting for her to sell her land? Or to have another business go into her place? I don't think she'd appreciate that. And it also opens up ways for people to steal land and do stuff like that. In other words, pay off the right people. You know, I've been around for a long time. I've been in regulated businesses most of my life. And a hell of a lot of them end up getting paid off.
Language.
Excuse me. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Okay, do we have any other comments? We're going to take about 3 more comments and we'll have to close this. The lady, sorry, can you please stand up, ma'am?
I'm not a lady.
Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. I couldn't really see you for the other people. May I ask your name, please?
Ethan Dean.
Thank you.
I want to say that I appreciate that you've set up a procedure for people to speak at the meeting. I think that's a great step in the right direction. In response to what Peter was saying, to me, the bigger issue was not the this sale between 2 entities. The issue to me was that the select people took it upon themselves to write a letter to this business inviting them to come here. And I think what you're hearing is that this is not necessarily a popular choice, and if you're going to be writing letters to or encouraging businesses to come to Lubec, I think there's a sizable contingent of people in the town that would like you to look elsewhere and maybe look for something that's locally owned, franchising.
I respect your comment, thank you. Anyone else in the audience? There's a hand back there and I cannot see your face, thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity, and I commend the board for adopting something so that everybody can be heard and not a lot of conversation going on. My comment is if people don't want the dollar store, don't support it. A lot of businesses get folded up here because people didn't support them. If you don't spend your money there, they won't make any money and they'll fold. Excuse me, I don't mean to be rude. I have the floor right now, and I thank you for that. As far as ordinances, I've been in Lubec 17 years, and yes, it's come up more than once, but it's a double-edged sword. And when I first moved here, because I'm a PFA, I thought, gee, this is strange. There's no ordinances. There's no ordinances. But can you pick and choose what ordinances you want? Because that's what it seems like you're asking here. Some people don't want the windmills. So are you going to turn around and say, oh, I don't want those, and I don't want this. But yeah, I'd like another art store to open up, or I'd like another gift shop to open up, or I'd like another restaurant to open up. And the other issue that came up, I was not born and raised here, but many of the people up on that dais there were, or spent at least 30 years in this town. You go back into the 1900s, there were box stores in Lubec. The A&P was here. There was, and the name of it just went right out of my head. There was some motor store.
Western Auto.
Western Auto. Rexall is a franchise. So they had them here, and they all did well. People supported who they wanted to. Again, you need to think of, and I'm not saying that you or any, when I say you, including myself, we're thinking of just ourselves. But there are a lot of people in this town that live on a fixed income. They didn't move from away to here. They didn't retire.